Like it should. Thank you for tuning in. Thanks for being part of our program. I'm going to talk about something this hour I've made allusions to on the air, but there's a whole topic in here, and I'm going to get to it. It's really something to think about. And frankly, as a man who's been married 4 times, I know about this stuff. But I know more about it because I've had other friends who've had it even worse. And let me be specific with you. There are specific signs that your marriage is desperate. And that one of you or both of you is trying anything in a desperate attempt to salvage it. The lust is gone, the passion is gone, the communication is gone, the interest level is gone. Gone. You don't talk to each other anymore. And you want to know something? Let me be real specific about what I'm talking about so you understand. I'm not talking about people who are in marriages where the people hate each other. I'm not talking about you, okay? You don't hate the other person. In fact, you love the other person. You love them. You're not having big screaming matches or threatening each other or threatening to get a divorce or whatever. There's just nothing there anymore. You come home, you both live at the same address, there's nothing there. And then one of you gets the bright idea to try to salvage it, to try to save it, to try to pump it up. And there are times when people do stuff that is so blatantly desperate, it cannot possibly revive the marriage. And there's one that I referred to, it just came off the top of my head one day, but I'm going to use it as a jumping off point. I found out about this not because any woman ever did this when I was married. I found out about this on the internet. Because, as many of you know, I have been on the internet jerking people's chains for years. And I have been in every kind of chat room. Chat rooms for pedophiles, chat rooms for overeaters, chat rooms for necrophiliacs. I mean, I go into all of them. I keep changing screen names and coming in and, whatever it is people are talking about, I'm that. That's what I am. Whatever people are looking for, I'm that. Doesn't matter what it is, I'm that. And over the years, I have, with more than a little fascination, gotten into a chat room called Married But Looking. Online. And there are other places where you see it, too. Married But Looking. Or Married But Cheating. Or Married But Screwing Around. Whatever. And this is something I used to do for fun. I'd get on there and try to find out what kind of women were there. Now, do you go out with women like this? No, because you know what kind of fat hogs are on there, right? I mean, come on. All the women with cutesy names. Cute gal 69 and all that. Come on. And you know there are these big heifers who are sitting home with 3 kids. They're stuck in the house and they're online. Or other ones, I think really sexy names like Mommy of 2. Ever see somebody with a screen name like that in a room like Married But Looking? You ever think about what kind of mentality that is? Mommy of 2. I saw somebody named Mommy of 2 once in a chat room for people who wanted to cheat on their husbands. Now, let's say I want to have an affair with you. Is the first thing I want to know about you that you're a mommy of 2? I mean, if you catch more flies with honey than you do with vinegar, don't tell me you're a mommy of 2. Tell me you're a hot vixen or something. Don't tell me that. I don't want to know. So I was in more than one of these chat rooms. And you know what it's like when you're online doing this thing. Come on. That's how I know to talk about it on the radio. I mean, the reality is, really, do I really want to fly to Duluth, Minnesota to meet some chick at a Holiday Inn like people do on the Internet. I have no interest in this, but it's fascinating to me, and it's been fascinating to talk about on the radio. And, of course, as part of jerking people's chains, I'm in there, and, I'm Joe Millionaire when I'm in there. I'm the really hot guy. I'm 27 years old, looking for love, blah, blah, blah. Whatever these chicks respond to, I say that. And you know how that chat always goes. Eventually it's like, do you have a pic? Not a picture, not a photo, a pic. Do you have a pic? And, of course, these women, mommy of two, who, of course, is just curious about chat rooms and would never have an affair, she uploads you a picture like in 30 seconds flat. Oh, yeah, I got one. Zoom! Suddenly the picture's on your screen. And this is how I know about this. Do you know how many of these married women online send you these glamour shots? You know what the glamour shots are? They're not very glamorous. I mean, forget that picture of Salma Hayek on the fair that I have not looked at 500 times. But you know what I'm talking about. Glamour shots are these, they have like the baby photographer who has some downtime at Sears. And so, when there's no appointments for children to be photographed, they roll the baby paraphernalia out. And they roll in like this gauze that looks like clouds, or they roll in what looks like satin sheets or something. And these chicks are like photographed in what looks like, lingerie. And they're made up like, quote unquote, like they're glamorous, like stars or something. And they put a little Vaseline on the lens, to cover up for all the crow's feet and all the reality that's on that face. And who has these shots taken? I mean, let's think about it. Why would you need a glamour shot? And I'm going to tell you why you need a glamour shot. From the female point of view, I got to tell you that what that is a woman who, like, the husband isn't interested in her anymore. He's hot for other chicks, maybe like he sees on the cover of Vanity Fair or wherever. And so she's going to go have a glamour shot taken so she can look like the hot chicks that he thinks are interesting in, like, pinups. They've got all kinds of motifs on there. You know what I'm saying? You've got, like, the really skimpy lingerie motif and lying on a bed looking seductive. The woman who takes your clothes to the dry cleaner, picks up your socks, cleans up the spittle off your kids' shirts and everything. And there she is looking alluring. Even the word alluring is a word that could be applied to these glamour shots. It is a desperate attempt by a woman to make one last try at making her husband feel that she's hot. But the thing is, if you look at it as a dispassionate observer from the outside, it's pathetic. Pathetic. I mean, I'll tell you what, as a guy, let me tell you what would be hot. Okay, let's say we're not into it for a while. Let's say, I don't know, I'm losing interest. You get me a digital camera for Valentine's Day, and I rip all your clothes off and take pictures of you from every angle. Now, that's hot. Do not come home with a goddamn glamour shot, please. Is there any guy who ever got hot looking at one of those? What are you supposed to do, put that on your desk at work? It's like an advertisement. My wife isn't getting enough. Our marriage is in trouble. I mean, can anybody who's happily married be going out and getting these things? I don't think so. And there are other things people do when they're desperate. Like when, again, we're not talking about people who hate each other or argue. We've talked about the bitches and the nagging and this time I'm not talking about that. It's just that you've kind of turned into roommates, You're just kind of not, there's nothing happening. You've been in a relationship like that if you live with somebody, if you live with enough people, eventually you're going to, if you haven't done it yet, trust me, it's going to happen. You're going to be with somebody and eventually it's like, yeah, sex, all right, okay. No big deal, come on, all right. I have to get up in the morning. I love that one, by the way. I have to get up in the morning. Especially when guys say it. That's when you know it's dead. I have to get up in the morning. All right. I'll do you, but I have to get up in the morning. After you say that, the glamour shot is coming. I'm telling you right now. But there are other desperate things people do, you know? The desperate weekend that let's take a romantic weekend. Or worse yet, let's go to one of those cheap, sleazy motels with mirrors on the ceiling and water beds. And we'll go in there and, or you'll go up to, how about the Madonna Inn? If you live in California, you know about the Madonna Inn, right? Dean, do you know about the Madonna Inn? Oh, come on, it's a hotel. It's actually a motel that is located in Central California. Way up the 5 freeway, okay? You take the 5 freeway way up from Los Angeles. And when you get there, the Madonna Inn, which was featured in an obscure movie called Diva with Buck Henry, the Madonna Inn is a hotel where every room has a theme. So you check in, and one man is like the caveman room. And by the way, instead of having like robes, you're getting like loincloths like Fred Flintstone, and you dress for the motif. So you've got a fantasy, and you live it out there, and you get the Tarzan room, rooms with waterfalls. And I'm not kidding. Every room is a theme. The Gone with the Wind theme. Okay, I'll be Rhett Butler, and you be Scarlett O'Hara. Come on. I mean, just blow taps for that marriage when you're down to doing stuff like that. Come on. It just stinks of desperation. So here's what I want to find out for you. I've given you some examples of my own, and there's a bunch of them out there. Okay? Again, you're in a marriage where the two of you don't hate each other. You're not fighting. She's not a bitch. He's not an a-hole. You know what I'm talking about. The deal is, there's just no passion there anymore. And so now you're getting down to doing the desperate stuff. The desperate stuff. The stuff that you just got the stink of death on you. You know, you could go to the Madonna Inn and be in the caveman room. You could get the glamour shots, whatever. You can't stop a train going downhill with no brakes. You know what I'm saying? That marriage is going to crash and burn. You don't want it to crash and burn, but it's gonna. Many times you have to look back at a marriage you just had. Many times when you're in the middle of doing these things, you can't see how desperate it is. So that's what I want you to tell me about. The things desperate people do to save marriages. And they're so desperate, you're never going to save them. The Tom Leykis Show. And Dino got online, found the Madonna Inn. And, no, it's not off the 5, it's off the 101. That's right. San Luis Obispo. And, yeah, look at some of these rooms. Well, one is the antique cars room, the Austrian suite. The caveman room, $215 a night. There it is. I knew I wasn't making that up. Oh, yeah, the Daisy May room. I wonder what that is. Oh, the Fabulous 50s motif. For you older people where the romance got out of your marriage. Yeah. The floral fantasy room. Oh, yeah. Very nice. Very nice. The old Mexico room. And you see, the idea is you wear these outfits and you're in this room with this motif or this theme and you can fantasize. You got to be kidding me. The minute, I'll tell you what, you know your marriage is over when your wife or in another case your girlfriend, the relationship is over. When they say, I made a reservation of a not in, honey. Oh, God damn, it's over. It's over. Because you know what? Let me tell you something. This is how women think, the idea of this kind of fantasy. Men don't think that. Come on. You know, show me your boobs and I'll stick it in. That's a man. We don't need to drive up to San Luis Obispo and go to a theme room, please. So that's why it was always fascinating when I was in these chat rooms of married women who were bored. And they'd have these glamour shots, and you could just tell they got them for their husbands. And the husband said, oh, yeah, that's great, honey. It's great. You know, honey, I went to the mall and I had to bring my wardrobe and I had to pose. I was in makeup and they took 6 hours to get it just right. We think the thing. That's great, honey. It's like over. Have you been there? Have you been to that point in your marriage or in your relationship? That's great, honey. It's Michael on a cell phone. Michael, you're on the Tom Leykis show. Hello.
Hello, Tom.
Hello, Michael.
Tom, I got a question for you.
What's that?
I've been married 7 years.
Yeah.
I'm 33, second marriage. Gone dancing with my wife. I don't dance. Go with her friends to candle parties.
What are candle parties?
Well, a bunch of women and their idiot husbands like myself sit in a room and buy candles from a catalog.
It's over. Your marriage is over.
But that's the thing. Look, I love my wife. We've been together 8 years, married 7, no kids. And
you don't even have kids as an excuse anymore.
Well, that's the thing. We don't have kids, but she wants some. I do too, but I don't know if our marriage is going to last because of the little things that she doesn't do, like have sex.
Yeah, well, that's one of the little things. Well,
yes,
does she know that you can't have a kid unless you have sex?
Yeah, she does. And she believes in having sex to procreate only.
Well,
maybe twice, 3 times a month.
Oh, God.
And
come on, honey, I'm ovulating. Let's go.
Basically, that's the way it is.
Oh, my God.
But before we got married, sex every day.
Yeah, of course.
Whenever I wanted it.
It's a loss leader, like they call them in the supermarket business. Do you know what a loss leader is?
Yeah.
You ever see the sale at the supermarket? It'll be like 5 pounds of bananas for 49 cents.
Because they can't get rid of them fast enough.
Well, the thing is, they're going to lose money on the bananas, but then they're going to sell you a gallon of milk for $7. So they make it up somewhere else. So the loss leader for women is sex. Lots of sex before you get married. 5 pounds for 99 cents. When you get married, they got you in the door. That's it.
Well, that's basically how it happened.
Yes.
What can a man do? Don't get me wrong. I love my wife with all my heart.
You know what? Nothing.
The Tom Leykis Show. This is the Tom Leykis Show.
From Los Angeles at 1-800-5800-TOM. All right. You don't hate the person you're with. You're not mad at them. You're not fighting. In fact, there's no energy. There's no passion. There's nothing left. And now, the other person, maybe you're the woman, maybe you're the man, the other person's doing desperate things to try to save it. And the more desperate, the more you just go, ew, oh. No, don't give me romantic cards now. No, don't take me to the Madonna. No, not a glamour shot. Oh, from the department store. Oh, my God, help me. The other person you're with is doing desperate things. Or maybe you just got divorced and they were doing desperate things. And again, if you hated the other person, you wouldn't care so much. But you love the other person, and it's just, oh, God, you can't make yourself look sexy. How about the people who start buying more and more sexy lingerie? In fact, how about the women who, as they get more and more baby fat, as they get chunkier after having kids, start wearing racier and racier lingerie? Or they start wearing these fantasy outfits. You know, they dress up as dominatrices or something like that. You ever been with somebody who did that? Yeah, you know, you just, the idea of having sex with the other person, it's just too much like work. And you come home and they're dressed in some kind of fantasy outfit. Oh, God, save me. 1-800-5800-TOM is our telephone number. Mark on the Tom Leykis Show. Hello.
Tom. Hello, Tom.
Hello, Mark.
It's an honor.
Thank you.
It's an honor. Speaking of desperate measures, my ex-wife, we went to 3 different marriage counselors. It was already over, but I didn't know it at the time. She said even if I had 2 drinks, it would change my personality to where she didn't feel intimate. meaning sexual.
She just had an issue with alcohol is what it was.
So I completely quit drinking for 3 years, bro.
Wow.
Nothing changed.
That's a sacrifice.
So
Of course nothing changed.
You hit the nail on the head for me. I had to share that with everybody.
Oh,
and
God.
no, it doesn't do any good.
Oh, boy. Well, thank you for that, boy. How many of you had that desperate trip? I got another one for you. How many of you had that desperate trip to a sex shop? You know what I'm talking about? Here in L.A. we got, the Hustler Hollywood on Sunset Boulevard. And we've got the Pleasure Chest. Every city's got one of these or more. You know, you got those sex shops. And you go in, and right, how many times have you gotten the tug from the other person? Come on, honey, let's go to the sex shop. Let's go look at whips and chains and massage oils, and let's go look at, and it's, just some of that stuff has its place, but, nothing like a good vibrator, for example. But come on. You go to these stores, you make that desperate trip, and you're in there with other people who look like they want to kill each other. They go in there. What about this, honey? What about this, honey? They're like just desperate. I mean, remember when you first met somebody, you didn't have to go to a sex shop. You just plowed into them. Well, it's too much like homework. You know what I'm talking about, right? 1-800-5800-TOM is our telephone number. I just, you feel bad. You don't even know what to say anymore. You don't even know what to do because you don't hate the other person, but, oh, God. Kelsey, hello.
Hey, Tom. How you doing?
Hi, Kelsey.
My ex-husband's probably listening right now. But about 5 years ago, I got pregnant by another guy.
Oh, boy.
And he was so desperate to keep me. He told me that he would not tell anybody the baby wasn't his and begged me to stay with him.
Oh, God. So, I mean, were you still seeing the other guy when he was doing this?
The other guy lived out of state. And were you
on the internet?
Nope, met him at a convention that I had gone to.
Met him at a convention and started banging some other guy, and
Yep.
Oh boy.
Yep.
And so what kinds of things did he try?
Oh, he just pretty much didn't. We had 2 other children.
He didn't take his own glamour shot, did he?
No, we had been going to counseling, and he just really wanted to keep his family together, and that was the steps he was willing to take to keep his family together.
But he didn't take you to the Madonna Inn, did he?
No, actually, we did take a little family vacation just to make it all work one more time, but it didn't pan out.
Yeah.
So you know what? Hey, you can hear my kid in the background. He's great, and I'm a single mom, and we do really good together. So.
Oh, boy. Unbelievable. And whatever happened to the ex?
He went back to his wife and living in Florida, taking care of his other kids there with his wife, and I'm staying here taking care of my son.
Boy, oh boy.
And my other children.
Your life was a little soap opera there, dear.
Yeah, you have no idea. I won't even go into it. You would tear me apart, so I think I'll just leave it at that and say thanks, Tom.
Very good. Thank you, Kelsey. 1-800-5800-TOM is our telephone number. Yeah, I'm thinking about we've all made that trip at least once. Not the trip for fun when you're out late at night and you've had a few too many to drink, and then you stumble into a sex shop and you start, making an $800 purchase of everything in the store. No. I'm talking about that time your wife says to you, come on, honey, we're going to go to the Pleasure Chest, honey. Come on, honey. And so it's like you're being taken to the dentist, right? You go in there, and she goes, how about this? How about this? And you just want to say, come on, give up. Come on, it's dead. Come on. Stop. 1-800-5800-TOM is our telephone number. More of your telephone calls are coming up. The Tom Leykis Show at 1-800-5800-TOM. Thank you for tuning in. Carrie on the Tom Leykis Show. Hello.
Hi, Tom.
Hi, Carrie.
Long-time listener.
Thank you.
I have a question for you.
Yeah.
I thought, based on your philosophy, the women who were trying to spice up their marital sex life was more of a positive attribute than a negative one.
Well, yeah, but it's how you do it. If you come home with a glamour shot from the department store, ooh, I'm getting hot now. Ooh, I'm pitching a tent. Ooh.
Them in lingerie.
But it's the way it happens. There's nothing wrong with it. Here's when lingerie is good. You go by yourself, you get something really hot, I come home, and you're wearing it. When you have to take me to the store like we're going to the mall to shop for a wrench at Sears, okay?
Okay.
And we have, what about this? What about this? What about this? You know, and the thing is, it takes on an air of desperation.
I see.
To me, lingerie is, you surprise me with it, okay?
Okay.
I walk in and you're wearing it.
Right on.
I'm not involved in the process. And the other thing, stop with the silly fantasies. I don't want to be Rhett Butler and have you be Scarlett O'Hara, okay? Stop.
What about the football player and the cheerleader type?
Hey, no, it doesn't do anything for me, you know? How about you wear as little as possible and I stick it in? Now that's sexy.
Okay.
How about you, or how about, like, instead of doing stuff like that, how about, like, strange places, you know? How about, like, hanging over the railing of a balcony somewhere? How about out on a beach somewhere? How about doing something really spicy?
All right, so we're on the same page then, as long as you do it tactfully.
If you take me to the Madonna, if you take me to the Madonna Inn and hand me a caveman outfit, I'm out. I am O-U-T. That
What
has
about
the
threesomes?
stink of death.
What about threesomes?
No, if you need a threesome, get a divorce.
Really?
Yeah.
Even if the girl wants it?
Yeah. Because it's going to end your marriage. It will end it.
Why?
Because the fact is, people you pick to be in a threesome are going to be hotter than whoever you're with.
And then the girl's going to get jealous and go, you liked her more than me.
Which we do.
Oh. Stop.
I'm telling you. Look, your husband's not going to tell you, but I'm telling you.
Well, you just answered my question.
You know what I'm bringing? If I work in an office, I'm bringing the 22-year-old receptionist over.
Right on.
All right? The one I've been fantasizing about.
And then I'm not going to like that very much.
You and the granny panties and the... You know, and I see you all the time in a sweatshirt walking around the house and baby spittle on your shoulder. Oh.
But can your wife be sexy after 5, 6, 7 years?
Yeah, but here's the thing. You gotta keep being a sexual creature. That means not... You don't hack your hair off.
I look like a soccer mom.
Yeah, no. There is nothing sexual about that at all.
I think you're right.
And this is what I'm trying to tell you about American... I always say this about American women. This is why I've stopped dating American women, and I started going to other countries to find women. Because in other countries, this country, women are in denial. They think that because they've locked us up in a contract and they can take half of what we've got, that we won't F around. But we do anyway. In other countries, women know the competition never ends until you're dead. Other countries, men have mistresses, and women are competing. And when women compete, they look better.
Because they're keeping themselves fit.
Absolutely. I have a girlfriend of 6 months. She's in the gym 3 days a week. Her hair is long. She's obsessed with how she looks.
But don't you find that sort of foreign attitude towards men a little too submissive at times?
Yeah, what man would ever say that? You're a woman. Maybe a woman might think that.
Never too submissive. Never to the point where they really have nothing intelligent to say. You can't take them around to your friends. Because
having something intelligent to say, you can be submissive and say something intelligent.
Can you?
Yeah, of course.
I think intelligent women can't really be too submissive. I think there's a certain submissiveness that should happen in a relationship. And
I'm not saying just lie there like a big pillow on the bed and just roll over. I mean, come on. Is there such a thing as too submissive? A woman who wants a man to make the financial decisions, a woman who wants a man to decide where you're having dinner, a woman who wants a man to decide where we're having vacation this year, you know what? She can still be very sexy. In fact, that is sexy. This is a woman who wants a man to be in control. And when the man is in control, you know what? There's that certain earthy, visceral, caveman quality about it.
Mm-hmm.
It's
the
hot.
protector, the hunter, the gatherer.
It's hot. And you know what? We can try to deny that element exists in life still to this day, but it does. We all want that. We all want, all the women who complain that there's no good men around anymore.
Well, I think they're full of crap.
You know what though? I have found
I say it's like you want to find a good man.
women like to be told what to do. They do.
Right.
You can deny this all you want. I'm telling you, the best relationships I've ever had were when I was the boss. And when I tried to be Mr. Sensitive, Mr. Politically Correct, Mr. You're a woman and you're equal to me and you have a job and you pay the bills. It never worked as well as when I was the boss.
Really?
Really.
So it's okay that a woman wants you to be a boss as long as she's submissive enough in the bedroom.
Yeah. And by the way, women who are submissive about financial, like the financial issues and stuff, that doesn't mean they're submissive in the bedroom. In fact, they're not submissive in the bedroom, but they are traditional sexual beings in the bedroom. In other words, your wish is their command. And sometimes your wish is that you come home one day and they're naked and ready to bang you when you walk in the door.
Right.
So is that really being submissive when they're there and they jump on top of you? I don't know.
No, it's not that bad at all. It's my fantasy as well.
You know what? I think it's a lot of people's fantasy, and people are too politically correct to admit it.
I think so, too.
So I say, the hell with it. I'm not being politically correct. I'm going to have the life I want to have.
Well, Tom, you've given me the tool to make my husband a very happy man.
Carrie,
Take me out with an orgasm, please.
I'll take you out with an orgasm. Here you go.
Oh, God. Oh, yes, yes, yes.
The Tom Leykis Show at 1-800-5800-TOM. Danny on a cell phone. You're on the Tom Leykis Show. Hello.
Hey, Tom.
Danny.
How you doing?
Pretty damn good.
Good. I'm here in Seattle, and I'm a first-time caller. I've been listening for about 6 months, and I think you're awesome.
Thank you.
You are great. The reason I called is I just had a comment to make that, there was a quote that Barbara Streisand said once, and she said, "Why do women spend so much time, spend the first 10 years of their marriage trying to change a man, and then the next 10 years bitching that they are not the man that she married?"
That's a great point.
Yeah. I think it's a great quote.
Mm-hmm.
Don't you agree?
Yes, I absolutely do.
Yeah, because, that's what women do. They do.
Well, that's right, but why are men such pussies that they give in and change? That's what I don't understand.
Exactly. Why do the men stay with the women?
I mean, I say right flat out, like I'm not giving up hockey. I'm not giving up baseball. I'm not giving up the boys. I'm not giving up boozing. I'm not giving up the things I like to do. That's it, tough.
And you know what? They shouldn't have to.
That's right.
I'm like one of the guys, and I'm married to a guy that he's not actually, I wouldn't call him a pussy, because he really is a man's man, but he hates baseball. I love baseball.
Uh-huh.
I love to go watch the Mariners play baseball. He has never been to the new stadium, and he refuses to go.
Uh-huh.
He will not go. And I like to do I like to go out and party and go with my friends and do all these things, and he will never go. He likes to stay at home.
Really?
Yeah, really.
Oh, boy. Sounds like trouble.
Well, no, not really. I mean, it's like he's the wife and I'm the husband. So, but I get along with all the guys and I have a great time. But it works out. I mean, we have a good relationship.
Well, good. As long as you're not fighting over that stuff, that's good. Danny, thank you for the call. Our email address is my name. It's Tom@blowmeuptom.com.